Hello my loves, I'm Elisa. Welcome to the Shameless Academy TV, where we bridge the gap between sexuality and spirituality, and we answer some of our deepest questions with love. In this week's episode, I am talking to all my amazing men out there who are on the edge of breaking up with their women and they don't know exactly how to do it. Truth is, my love, that it is not always easy to break up with class, especially if you are the one who decided to end up the relationship and she still loves you. So in this episode, I thought about sharing with you what I consider to be the first thing that absolutely every man who ever loved a woman should do if he decides to break up with her. So let's see, are you ready? You know, when you decide to break up with a woman, you do it because of how the relationship looks and feels in the present moment, right? But in order to break up with class and soul, you, my love, have to go back in time when it all started. Exactly. You have to go back in time and reiterate all the good moments and remember what that woman meant for you. Remember how she made your life better. Because you know what, sometimes we are so trapped up in the way our relationship has degraded, and we are so anxious to get out of all this unhappiness that has been created within and around us. But what happens when we run from something is that it persists, and when we embrace something, it ceases to resist, right? Now I'm going to share with you a little secret that I want you to always keep in mind. For 99% of the women, when we enter a relationship with a man that we love, deep inside of us, either we realize it or not, we all long to be that woman. Yes, to be that woman that will have the most profound impact on that man. So if you want to end up a relationship with soul and class, leave her feeling that she has accomplished her mission. Leave her feeling that she has accomplished her deepest mission, her secret mission. So that one thing, the first thing that every man who loved a woman should do when he decides to break up with her, is to tell her how exactly she has changed his life forever. Once again, the first thing that you gotta do when you want to break up with a woman who you loved is to tell her how exactly she has changed you and your life forever. Sit down with her and make the effort to share with her at least 3 ways in which your life will never be the same because of her. You can share with her the things that you've learned from her, or very importantly, you can share the ways in which she has raised the standards for what you now consider to be a real woman. This will deeply move her, I can assure you. Because at the core of every human being, it's the need to be of value, to impact others, to matter to others. And unfortunately, what happens with a lot of breakups is that lovers try to, just state out loud the things that went wrong, why their partners suck, and everything negative. And when we focus on the bad stuff, we all know what happens, right? Breakups leave us feeling empty and bitter instead of grateful and at peace. Because if we take a look at the meaning of every relationship, it is growth. That's the meaning of relationships, growth. And that's what we have to seek in every ending. And if you want to grow, you have to learn to acknowledge both the good things and the painful things that have shaped you and your partner along the way. You have to learn to accept the fact that people do grow apart, and there's nothing that you can do about it, nor you should do something about it. We come into each other's lives for a reason, and it's usually to uplift each other and to help each other get to the very best version of ourselves. But that doesn't mean that you have to stick with that person forever. Not at all. To me personally, what's the most important thing is to give your all, to live that relationship with so much intensity and gratitude. And when it ends, you know that you've left your all in it. And there's a quote that it just makes me tremble. And it says, "I left pieces of my soul within you." And that's the truth. When you are so present in that relationship, when you hold nothing back, that's what happens. There are pieces of your soul that are left within that person. But that doesn't make you less. Per contra, you've also taken pieces of his soul or her soul, and that made you flourish. That watered you to become a better person today, maybe a wiser person. You get me? I'm sure you do. Now, weirdly enough, the problem that a lot of men are confronted with is that they apparently can't break up with their women. Exactly. They apparently can't break up with their women because a lot of women, when they find out that their man wants to leave them, they start doing a lot of crazy things. Like, for example, we all know that they start insisting and bringing back memories and starting initiating crazy, shameless sex, irresistible sex. Also, they can go out threatening and even try to get pregnant to stick with a man. And while this is not a funny situation, from the outside it can always seem funny, but it is not, because those women do those things from a place of lack, of inner lack. They really need that someone to validate them. You know, they need that someone in their life to feel complete, to feel loved, to feel cherished, protected, and so on. And so they do whatever they can to stick with that man. So here's what I know for sure. As a man, if you are confronted with this, you may tend to go to extremes and have two types of behavior. Either you completely disappear from that woman's life because you believe that this way you will cut the evil from the root. And the second one is that you will prolong the breakup because you will continue to allow yourself to be influenced by her codependent behavior. Am I right? Now, if you ever find yourself in this type of situation, here are two things that I want you to remember right away. The first one is that relationships based on pity are dead. And the second one is that it is not manly of you, nor it is a proof of love, to simply break your own decision for instant gratification, to come back to a woman because you don't want her to suffer. Because here's the thing, if you dig deeper, you'll observe that a lot of times when we say that we don't want our partners to suffer, it's actually us saying that we don't want us to suffer. Because if we do those things, our partners will perceive us and see us in a different way that they have seen us all this time. And sometimes we are not ready to cope with this, to feel alienated from them. That's an egotistical thing. That has nothing to do with true love. If you really want her to be good, you have to keep your own promise and do what you said, do what you felt, do what you've decided. Am I right? So my recipe for every man out there who is on the edge of breaking up with a woman he loved is: number 1, be firm with your decision. Number 2, be respectful and tell her how exactly she has changed your life forever. And number 3, very importantly, end up the relationship and mean it. Keep the distance. And don't fall for after breakup sex. Don't fall for after breakup sex. Because truth is that after we break up with our long-term partners, they start to appear much more interesting to us because they are not available to us anymore. And if you're tempted to go back, please remind yourself why the hell you actually decided to break up with her. Please. Because the temptation to go back to our long-time partners comes from a place of physical desire and also being used to that person. And while habits are hard to break, believe me, because they really are hard to break, if you are a man of word, if you are a man who looks forward into the future, you have to learn to go past these delusional desires and stick to your promise to self, to stick to the promise that you have made to yourself. So once again, before we wrap it up, the first thing that every man who loved a woman and decided to break up with her has to do is to be specific and tell her how exactly she has changed his life forever. If you find the love to do this, then you are a grown-up man. And I vouch for you, baby. I vouch for you. My loves, this was my message for you this week, and I hope it came in time for you and you enjoyed these minutes we spent together just as much as I did. And until next time, if you want more shameless wisdom like this, make sure to hop over my YouTube channel, The Shameless Academy, and hit subscribe. Follow me on Facebook for daily juicy tips. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, make sure to sign up below for a private coaching session. I love you, stay shameless, and do your women right. Exactly. Do your women right.